Fantastic. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, it's don't doubt the support here in the States, man. It's pretty
Oh,
good.
no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be in with you guys every week if I did.
Never ever. Let's move on. Last week we started a little.
Kenny, real quick.
Yeah, man.
Lamella was not included on the Champions League squad.
Okay, so let's look at, and when does that start, Simon? The big boys joining in the Champions League draw. That's coming up, isn't it?
What do you mean the big boys? You mean the dropouts from the Europa League?
I'm sorry, not Champions League. FA Cup.
I think the second round is coming up. It's normally early to mid-December, Vass, and that's when they do the draw for the third round.
Yeah.
And then the games normally played first weekend in January.
Okay.
That's correct, yeah.
That's coming up. So, I think maybe it would be a good opportunity, Tim, to your point. Maybe start integrating him off the bench. Who knows? Maybe he gets a Premier League start before an FA Cup start. But I think the FA Cup would be a great opportunity to start integrating him back in as a starter and let him and see if he can go 70, 80, and possibly 90 minutes.
We have the normal holiday fixture congestion coming up real soon, so I'm sure he's going to be featured at some point there, probably starting off the bench before he gets a start.
And it goes without saying, I cannot wait. So excited.
He can be your Christmas present on the Boxing Day match.
He is my Christmas present. Eric Lamella with a bow.
Yeah, talking of 6:30 kickoffs, Vass. Boxing Day, 6:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I'm going to that one on Boxing Day. Going with the whole family because we're going to be in London for Christmas anyway. So
nice.
Off to Wembley for Boxing Day game. Yeah, I hate these 12:30 games, to be honest with you. Didn't like it yesterday. Didn't like it the week before against Palace. It's just, they're horrible.
Now, so Vass, what's the kerfuffle about the club and the supporters trust on West Ham? I mean, the kickoff's been announced. What's not been announced is it the ticket on sale process.
Do you know what, Simon? I haven't seen that, to be honest with you.
I've just seen it going back and forth. Even the supporters trust kind of got a little antsy with the club on announcements. I wasn't quite sure what the announcement were hoping for. Ticket allocation. I don't know. Because, again, like the Chelsea home game, what are we going to max out at 70,000 because of the fact it's a London rivalry? I think that rule applied in both games. Anyway, sorry, Ken, cut you off, mate.
No worries.
Off you go.
It's all good. Let's move on. Simon last week started a little segment with trivia, and I'm sure we got some positive feedback on Twitter about, hey, I enjoyed playing along, so please continue to do so. He gave us a little bit of a hint this week that everything is going to be associated with Spurs in Germany, whether it be the national team or players and the like. So, Simon, take it away.
Yeah, so I think I'm rummaging through my post for the scores on the doors from last week, but I think it was pretty straightforward. Vass, you took a 5-point lead of 5 points, and Sam had 2. So Sam's out, so there's an opportunity for our Ken and our Tim to see if they can gain some ground on the runaway lead at Vass. So this week, in light of the fact that we are playing the Germans this week, we're going to have some questions centered on Germany. Are you ready, gentlemen? You remember the rules?
Yeah.
You chime in with your name. You wait until I've answered the question, and the Anorak's decision is final. So, first question is a two-parter. Who did we sign and who did we transfer out? Lewis Holtby. From and to. Go. Whose name is
Sorry,
Ken.
Sorry.
Ken. Off you go, Ken.
We transferred him to Hamburg.
Correct.
We signed him. Crap. Lewis Holtby.
Next. Shit.
Bass.
Tim.
Bass.
I had Bass.
Go on, Tim. Oh, did we sign him from Dortmund?
That's it.
No, I got the signing from.
Yeah. Sorry,
Schalke.
You're right, but there's only the one go
No,
away.
that's bullshit.
No, those are the rules. There's
Give me a
only
point.
1 second offering. So Ken is on the board with a point.
Sweet.
Sorry, Tim.
Is that what you meant to do? Was take away my opportunity?
No, I didn't even think of that, to be honest with you. But it might
Take
be
my
a good
opportunity with
strategy.
your shit answer.
All right, question number 2. It's a 1-pointer. Which German club did Spurs first face in Champions League campaign, the very first Champions League campaign? Go.
Tim.
Vass.
Tim.
Bayern Munich.
Vass.
Vass.
Wolfsburg.
Wow. Stumped them both. Werder Bremen.
Oh, Werder Bremen. I knew it was a W.
Yeah. It was 2-0 up in the first one.
Wankers. Sorry,
Wankers.
what was that?
Question number 3. All right. This was the first ever German club we faced in European action in the UEFA Cup in 73-74. Which club was it?
Tim. FC Cologne.
Oh, good man. Tim is
Boom.
on the board. Wow, that was a good one.
Tim's hot on these Germans,
Did
isn't
you
he?
study up on your Germans, Tim?
Tim likes a bratwurst.
Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch.
He likes a bratwurst.
Question number 4. A German sausage. Question number 4. It's a potential 4-pointer,
Oh my!
but I'm after
4.
I'm after 3. Name 3 Germans that played for Spurs in the Premier League era. Go.
Ken.
Vass.
Tim.
Ken.
No, I was way before him.
No.
it.
That was before Ken.
Yeah,
But anyway,
Ken.
go on, Ken.
Jurgen Klinsmann.
Yes.
Lewis Holtby.
Correct.
Eric Dyer's Portuguese.
Next.
I don't know.
Tim.
Yeah, I think that's Tim.
Christian Ziga and Stefan Freund.
You are correct. So,
Yeah.
wow. 2 for Tim, 2 for Ken.
Well, I
Sam
did
has
say my
already,
name
Sam
first
has
there, so-
already been overtaken.
No, I think Sam had 3 from last week, so he's
Did he?
okay. Yeah.
Well, we'll make sure he gets overtaken.
All right, so, hey, not to break in, but I'm watching, what is it, Premier League News or whatever it is this show is, and they're holding up the Sport magazine or whatever the hell it is, and it's got United's January Rose on the cover, talking about Danny Rose going to United in January. Just anyway.
You've broken my rhythm.
We'll come
Yeah,
back
you
to
broke
that.
mine too. I'm
Yeah.
on a roll here. Come on.
Okay, this has a little bit of a local flavor. Question number 5. Klinsmann played in Dallas about 6 weeks before joining Spurs in the World Cup. Who were the Germans' opponents that day? It was the Cotton... Ken?
The United States.
No.
Shit.
It was the Cotton Bowl, and I think it was about 120 degrees Fahrenheit on the pitch. The Germans had a 3-0 lead. Vass.
Mexico.
Incorrect.
My
Tim,
dad went
no
to that
points,
game.
but-
I'm trying to think.
Did you go to that game, Tim?
No, I was too young. My dad went.
Yeah. It was Germans were 3-0 up at halftime. They wilted in the second half, so it had to be a team used to heat, and it was South Korea.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I was at that
Never
match.
guessed that.
Yeah, I was at that match. It was a good match. There was a German Nazi behind me. It was awesome. Not fun at all because I think I had a Spurs shirt on. All right, and so those are the 5 questions. But I have
Lovely.
a bonus question, and it's merely me going out of my anorak way to come up with this. But upon researching the 4 Germans who played in the Premier League era, outside of the Premier League era, there was only one other German that played for Spurs. Who was he? You're not going to guess this, but I'll give you 4 points if you can guess him.
German.
Outside the era.
It's outside the Premier League era, but it's the only other German to have ever played for Spurs in our history, I believe, if I did my research correctly.
You narrow it down to a decade.
Yeah, about 110 years ago.
Oh, for goodness
Oh, well,
sake.
fuck that.
Well,
Yeah.
that's it. All right, so here it is. It was Max Seeberg. He played for us from May 07 to June 08. He made 2 appearances and scored no goals. He was a forward. So
So
Oh,
your
mate.
4 points
What?
up your ass.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, scores on the doors
Sideways.
this week. Our leader, Vass, has 0 for the week.
Well, I thought I'd let all the other guys catch up.
That's what
for a
it
week.
is.
Yeah.
And then tying this week, Tim and Ken on 3 points each. So I'll tally up those scores, and I will post those after the pod has had a time to be aired. I was a bit presumptuous last week, got the results out before we even posted the pod. So thanks, everyone.
Tiebreaker.
Lovely.
Yeah, give us a tiebreaker.
It was
a whole year to
Seaberg stop. So we'll figure out what the flavor of the pod is.
Why didn't you ask how many goals Stefan Freund scored?
Because the answer is 0.
Yes, I know.
I don't need to research any statistics for that one.
When was the first game he scored a goal in?
Well, how many Germans have scored against Arsenal?
Ken, when we saw him during open training in Chicago, he did put one in the net there. I think there was no goalkeeper, and he was 6 yards from the goal.
Right.
We still shout, shoot!
That was funny. Excuse me. Tim, we are moving on. So, big week coming up. Champions League, Borussia Dortmund, and this match is away. So, the big yellow wall. A lot of people kind of anxious to, don't get to watch this Dortmund play very often. So, with the Spurs' new stadium being built, our new wall, or whatever the hell it's going to be called, is supposed to emulate what this is. So, it's a lot of people looking forward to it. Dortmund have been off their game a bit. 2-1 loss to Stuttgart over the weekend. So we got Borussia Dortmund coming up, West Brom on the weekend, and now it is time for Tim's injury update.
Timmy, get out the Bengay. You know what time it is. Groin pull. Deep thigh bruise.
All right, so I'm going to try and streamline it a bit. This week, injuries going up against Dortmund. You have 5 players who are out. Marco Reus still recovering from ACL surgery. Sebastian Rode is out with a pelvis injury. 2 right backs are still out, Lucas Piszczek and Eric Durm. And then Jadon Sancho joined too late. He was not eligible for the Champions League squad. So all those players will not feature this week. Players to keep an eye on, 2 center backs, Omer Toprak. He had a knee injury and missed the match this weekend against Stuttgart. And then Socrates Papastalopoulos, he was subbed off at halftime with a rib injury. So those are 2 center backs. Also, Christian Pulisic missed out with a muscle injury. He was also held out of international duty for the U.S. And then Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was dropped this week due to disciplinary reasons. There were reports that he was repeatedly showing up late. There's a source within the team who's speaking out to media about his disciplinary issues. He also had an unauthorized photo shoot at Dortmund's training ground with a Red Bull football freestyler, which didn't go over very well considering that Leipzig is Red Bull Leipzig, and that's one of their rivals. So those are for Dortmund. For West Brom, you have 3 players out. James Morrison with an Achilles injury, Craig Dawson with a knee injury, and then Nasser Chadli in training on Friday picked up a grade 3 hamstring tear, and he's out for a good bit, according to Pulis. Looking at Spurs, Poch reported that Toby is likely out until after Christmas with his hamstring injury. Victor Wanyama is still continuing his field work and rehabbing from his knee injury. He's yet to resume training with the first team. And as Kenny stole my thunder earlier, Eric Lamela featured for 60 minutes in the U23 match against Chelsea. Those were his first minutes playing in the game in over a year, so that's good to see. But those are your injury reports looking at the week ahead.
Lovely. I have to go back for one of those. Dortmund, the very first name that you said, Piszczek. Is that what you do when you get drug tested?
Yeah. You get a piss check.
I was like,
Boom
what?
Tish.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
On that note.
Yeah. All right, so big week ahead. Tuesday. I know, Simon, you're talking about going to the pub Tuesday, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I have. I'm not traveling this week, so yeah, I'll take a cheeky afternoon off and go down the boozer.
I'll try. I'll see if I can break out. I need to break out about an hour and a half early. So
Didn't you just stub your toe when you got up from the desk this